Hello guys, and welcome to a much overdue edition in this F1 2015 mod, Season 3 Career Mode. We are getting ready for the practice session here at Barcelona. We're going to be skipping that, heading straight to Q1, and I'm not really sure what to expect from this track here. I always seem to do very poorly at Barcelona. This is probably one of my least favorite tracks on the entire circuit, and to make things all the more screwed up, this is where I won my first race in this particular career here and with the McLaren team last year. So what happened last year was that I was running with a next to no downforce setup there. I was trying to be very fast on the straight and keep everybody off me on the long finishing straight there, and just basically trying to park the bus along the rest of the track. I'm going for the exact opposite this year, see if it makes any sort of difference whatsoever. I'm going for a high drag, high downforce setup. That's going to hurt me on the straights, but hopefully it'll give us a little bit more traction and a little bit better cornering speed on the rest of the track there, hopefully making us more competitive overall. But anyways, this first lap here in Q1 is enough to get us into Q2. They promised us a little bit of rain here during the qualifying session, so it'll be interesting to see just how that plays out. I hope we may be able to squeeze out for a couple of quick laps here before the rain really starts. That would definitely help us out. Jumping right ahead here to Q2, the rain is starting to come down ever so slightly. It doesn't really look like much, but I can tell you already the track is definitely a little bit compromised in terms of grip, as we are all over the place here. Sebastian Vettel on provisional pole right now, 121, much faster than our Q1 time there. So by the looks of it already, we're going to be suffering come race time here, even if we do make it into Q3, which I very much doubt at this point here. 1:23.997. That is almost 2 seconds worse than our Q1 time, and I do not see us improving on this whatsoever. So we are going to be starting 12th on the grid for tomorrow's race, and already in this season here, it really appears that our car seems to be struggling when it comes to competitiveness with the overall pace of the remaining field. Vettel's car is doing just fine, I might add. It's only us who is suffering, so that could be down to the difference in driving skills. Who knows? And just setting up the pit strategy here, we're going to be changing up our usual strategy, which is an option prime option, and going for an option prime this time, hoping that the track is going to be a lot more grippy late in the race. Getting ready for the start here. We get out of the gate in a very nice fashion here. Going down the inside of Grosjean, Alonso appears to be standing still. We have a nice line down the inside here as we come up right behind, I believe it is one of the Force Indias. They're just squeezing down the inside. Actually, I think that was a... No, wait a second. That was a Force India. I'm not really sure who it was, but going into turn 3 here, down the inside of Rosberg. He is almost being run off the track here as we have the inside line here coming into the right-hander. Going up the inside of Rosberg, up the inside of Felipe Massa, and we are from 12th on the grid, running in P3 here early in the race. So definitely a start to be happy about here. So you can see Vettel still in P1. We almost lose the car here coming through the left-right hander here. Bit of a chicane really, and that's going to hurt our chances of catching up to the two front guys there. Also, we have Massa in 4th place right now. It appears that Rosberg was trying to go down the outside of us there, had to back off and lost a place due to us skidding all over the track there. So lap 1 status at this point, Vettel in front, Hamilton is in P2, we are running 3rd, and things are looking a darn sight better than they did after that Q2 session yesterday. Skipping right ahead to lap 3 here, coming up to lap 4, we've closed the gap on Lewis Hamilton here. We have DRS, but so does he, as you can see the open rear wing there, but we still have the slipstream effect, trying to go up the inside of Hamilton there. Somebody, a Sauber I believe it was, coming out of the pit here, almost making things very interesting here, as Vettel had to evade, and so did we, and it appears right now that we are closing the gap on Sebastian Vettel as well. Jumping ahead to lap 5, we have the same situation we did with Lewis Hamilton on the very last lap, only Vettel does not have DRS, so us going down the inside of him there is not going to pose a problem whatsoever. And on lap 5 of the Spanish Grand Prix, we are leading the race. Jumping ahead to lap 6 here, no change overall at this point. We are still leading the race, almost cutting the corner here, losing the car, coming off the curb as we have Vettel directly behind us, and he is definitely going to have some sort of look here as we come out on the straight, and there's not too much we can do about that. Vettel has DRS, he has seemingly a superior engine over us. I'm not really sure how that figures out, but also Hamilton having a look down the inside of us. He has to back out of that one, but Vettel makes his move stick, and we are back into P2 here at the Spanish Grand Prix. Jumping right ahead to lap 9 here, Nico Rosberg now running in 3rd behind us, having overtaken Hamilton. Vettel is starting to run away with this one early. Once again, he appears to be about 5 or 6 seconds up the road here, and at this point, we have no answer for Vettel whatsoever. It's all going to be about survival at this point, hopefully making sure we get as many points as possible, but at this point, seemingly everyone else seems to have been dialing up their engines and are running a lot faster than we are at this point. Just look at the train that we're forming, and Vettel again is opening up one huge gap here on lap 14. And also at this point, it appears that our tires are starting to go, which is very early indeed. We need to be doing at least another 12 laps on these. Rosberg having a look down the inside, he has to back out of that one, and as a result, Felipe Massa is moving into 4th place there. Jumping ahead to lap 18, we have Lewis Hamilton back into P3 at this point, and is starting to put us under some pretty heavy pressure from behind. As again, like I said, our tires are really starting to suffer. You should be able to see that on the graphics alone, and I'm not really sure what to do to conserve my tires here because I'm being put under pressure from everywhere, and running a tire conserving race at this point is just not an option. And just look how far ahead Vettel is at this point, 32 seconds, oh my. Jumping to lap 20, we are coming in for our first pit stop of the race. We are going to be making the switch to another set of options here as we are going to be finishing out the race on the prime tire. The reason we're doing that is because we are hoping that the track is going to be laid down with rubber in a fashion that will make the prime tire much more competitive late in the race than it would be for the middle stint, because so far this season we have been getting absolutely caned on our middle stint by the AI, who are always seemingly out on the option tire there. Jumping right ahead to lap 21 here, loads of cars in the pits at this point. We should be able to jump 1 or 2 positions here at least. One car coming out of the pits right in front of us there appears to be one of the Williams cars, the car of Valtteri Bottas. We're going to be trying to go down the outside of him here, but almost lose the car into the runoff pit, and Bottas retains 2nd position at this point as we are still in P3. Jumping to the end of the lap here, we have been able to stay within DRS range of Bottas, and we are going to be making that count at this point here. Coming down the main straight, he adopts a bit of a defensive line there, it would seem, but thinks the better of it and pulls back out, and just by the seat of our pants there, really, we managed to squeeze down the inside of him and are back into P2, running behind Sebastian Vettel. Jumping ahead to lap 27 here, the gap down at Bottas remains pretty constant between 1 and 2 seconds at this point, and that is good news, meaning we are on race pace. Nobody appears to be catching Vettel at this point, though, unless he has some sort of mishap or an accident, mechanical failure, something like that. That's probably what it's going to take at this point if somebody is going to beat Vettel. But for us, it's just going to be a matter of scraping home as many points as we possibly can, because I don't think there's any chance we're going to be winning here at Barcelona today. Jumping to lap 38 here, our tires are starting to go yet again, and also it appears that Bottas is kind of dialing up the engine here for the past couple of laps, closing the gap on us. He is right behind us at this point, putting us under pressure. And I suppose the good news is that it appears that the cars behind him are actually dropping back, and there's a gap between Bottas and the 4th place car. I'm not really sure who that is at this point. And jumping to lap 40, we are coming in for our second and last pit stop of the race. We're going to be switching for the prime tire here, and it'll be interesting to see how that is going to hold up for the final stint here. Like I said, I'm hoping that extra rubber on the racing line is going to give us just a little bit of grip advantage that we probably wouldn't have had during the middle stint there. And as you can see, I believe that was Kvyat just coming down the straight, taking away P6 from us there. Debris is everywhere here in turn 1. I'm not really sure what happened. But as we come out on the second DRS straight, you can see Will Stevens all over one of the Williams cars. That is Felipe Massa. He has some sort of damage there. Still trying to race, though, as we have to go all over the grass just to pass him. And he loses a place to Will Stevens there. I'm not really sure. He must have lapped him, so it doesn't really matter much. But I'm guessing, all things considered, we probably should have gotten a warning for that. But and as we jump right ahead to lap 45 here, the humiliation is complete as we are being blue flagged, being told to let Sebastian Vettel lap us here. Are you kidding me? 21 laps remaining and we are already being lapped by Vettel, our teammate, driving the same car we are. Ouch. Jumping ahead to lap 51, still running in P4 here, trying to catch Valtteri Bottas. He's about 16 seconds up the road. It does not appear we have much chance of catching him. He is on the option tire, and he's driving a lot faster than we are at this point. Max Verstappen is in 5th, and I'm not really sure where Hamilton is at this point, but on lap 57, you can see Hamilton is now, he must have had some sort of accident at some point. I remember he was up in 3rd position early in the race, then sort of disappeared, but is now running in 5th place here, 16 seconds behind us. Jumping ahead to lap 60 here, Bottas almost 40 seconds ahead of us there, really cranking that Williams into high gear late. And also Hamilton is closing the gap on us dramatically here, having taken away about 10 seconds on us in 3 laps time, meaning we are completely off the pace at this point here. Bottas is kicking our butts, Hamilton is catching us. Jumping right ahead here to lap 65, Hamilton is completely close to gap. He's going to have a look down the outside of us there. That is the wrong line to pick. It is no problem for us to defend that place. And remember, Sebastian Vettel has already lapped us, meaning all we have to do right now is keep Hamilton behind us here up until the finish line here. He's going to have another look down the inside here, but he's going to have to back out of that one too, and that is going to cost him a few tenths of a second as he has to brake here coming into the right-hander. And that is basically all we need to make this stick. We are going to be finishing 4th here at Barcelona, and all things considered, bad qualifying session, bad setup for this track, a bad track in general. I'm not very good on this track. Finishing 4th is pretty much a victory for me at this point. So kind of happy with this, I have to say. I'm not really sure what happened to Hamilton there. He appeared to be very, very much faster than basically everyone else. Just look at that time there, 1:26.52. Almost half a second faster than Nico Rosberg, who was almost a second and a half faster than Sebastian Vettel. Wow, that is just unbelievable. Anyway, Vettel taking the win here. Rosberg is in 2nd, Bottas 3rd. We finished just off the podium in 4th ahead of Lewis Hamilton. And looking at the Drivers' Championship here, it appears that Vettel is building up quite a gap here early. But if I'm not sure if you recall in Season 2, Lewis Hamilton pretty much did the same thing last season and ended up losing the championship anyway. So I guess at this point for us, it's all about scraping together as many points as possible, and then hopefully some opportunities are going to present themselves later in the season. At any rate, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please don't forget to leave a like or subscribe to this channel for more F1 2014 action, and I'll be seeing you soon enough. Bye-bye.